Hi guys, welcome to my channel. We have on the line James back again. James, how are you today?
Great. How you doing?
Amazing as always. I'm glad to hear that. So, James, today we're going to talk about sex. We on some salt and pepper shit with it today. So, let's talk about sex, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that may be. Let's talk about sex. Okay, so adult conversation. If you're not adult, click out right now. So, James, you're a married man. Married 35 years.
Yeah.
How's sex?
Sex, no problem. Oh, well, it is a problem. It depends on what type of sex. So all the way, all different kinds of ways.
So you saying you having sex, but maybe not the type of sex that you want to have? Is that what you're saying? So what type of sex would you like to have?
All kind. I guess you name it, I like to try it. I guess I don't know if I like a lot of it because I hadn't experienced too much of different kind, but what I have, it's been pretty good.
Is your wife experimental when it comes to sex?
No.
So she's not open.
Right.
Okay, so you said all types of sex. So y'all have a missionary?
Yeah.
Doggy style?
Yeah.
Oral?
On my behalf, some, but on her behalf, no.
Anal?
No, never.
Rough sex? Kinky sex?
She'll do rough, yeah.
So it's okay, so what are you missing?
I like to try the angle. I like to try anything. Anything worth trying. At least one time.
So you're saying you give her oral sex, but she doesn't give you oral sex.
Right.
And how old is this?
I used to, but it's been years since I have because it's a two-way street.
It is supposed to be a two-way street. Okay, so let's get a little deeper because this is a little dry. So intimacy, as far as sex is concerned, do you have that?
Yeah, I can say yeah.
Okay, so why is it that you can't talk to her and say, I want you to give me some head on a regular basis? Or what about starting off with foreplay?
I do the foreplay, we do that part, but she didn't say she don't do, like say give head or something like that. She have tried it, say she just not gonna do it.
Okay, so what foreplay are y'all doing? Is that just like kissing or?
Just touching. I told you earlier, things started happening. I used to do a lot of kissing, but over the last years, I just quit doing all that kissing. I just don't. I would love to, but I don't know. And it probably is just me, but I just don't. I don't.
So is sex exciting with her?
Well, I'm about to ask that question. I never asked that question.
Is it exciting for you?
Not really. Because I like, like I say, I would like to do a lot of oral. I would like to, try some angle or do something like that. But she won't do it.
And y'all been married for 35 years.
Yeah.
I'm in awe, a little confused, because in my world, I thought that oral sex kind of went along with foreplay initially. And so I'm confused by, and I mean, maybe it exists, I don't know, but I haven't been hearing about any females at this day and time above the age of 20 that have not performed oral sex. And if you're married with somebody for 35 years, and to each his own, so I'm not judging, but that just seems a little off to me.
Me too. I mean, she tried maybe a couple times, and since we've been together, but she just say, I mean, she the one brought it up in the beginning, not me. I mean,
so how did she bring that up?
You know, she was saying about her aunt, back years ago, used to be doing it, said we need to try it. And I said, that's fine, let's try it. If that's what you like, let's do it. And I did get to liking it, I ain't gonna lie. But I'm not gonna keep doing you and you're not doing me.
Okay, so rewind. You said she came to you and told you that her aunt was doing it, and so she wanted to now try.
Right.
You also said this lady cheated on you, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
I got you.
I'ma just say it.
I got it. Yeah.
That if you were not having oral sex before and this lady cheated on you, then you do have to know that there was oral sex happening on the outside of your marriage, right? So, because it's weird. I'm gonna just say that, okay? And again, I'm not judging. To each his own. But sometimes we have to make things make sense. And the only thing that makes sense to me is it happened, she liked it, and now since I'm with you, you have to do it too. I could be wrong. Yeah, but okay, we'll leave it at that. If I was to bet my life on it, and I wouldn't, because, but either way, I can almost, if we take a poll on it, that anybody listens to this, everybody's going to say the same thing. She was outside giving oral. She was outside getting oral, and that's how you now are. And then all of a sudden she stopped. I'm still confused as to why she would stop. If she started it with you, why would she stop?
She just said, when she's trying it, I guess she was gagging a few times, and then she said she just don't like to do that.
Gagging is part of oral.
She don't mind me doing it to her, but she don't want to do it to me.
Okay. I might be asking a little personal question, TMI. You can answer or you cannot. So, as far as manhood is concerned, or would you say you are average, above average, over average?
Yeah, average. I don't know.
Okay, average would mean about what?
I don't know what you mean.
What do you consider to be an average male penis size?
About 8 or 9, something like that. 7, 8, 9, somewhere along with that.
Okay, so you ain't no slouch is what you're trying to say. So you're not no slouch is what you're trying to say.
Right.
You can handle your own.
Right. I mean, I never had a problem with, when I did cheat, I never had no problem. And in my younger days, I definitely never had no problem.
Okay.
So, I mean, I don't know.
And you consider your wife and your sex to be good sex?
I mean, the basic sex, yes. I mean, on the basic side, because whatever I try to do it to please her, whatever it takes. I'm going to try to learn everything that I know that can please her. That's what I'm trying to do.
Well, I love how you said that. You're going to try to learn. Because, and I asked about manhood, it doesn't really matter actually, because I've been with people that were above average, people that were average, and people that were well below average, okay? And the person that was well below average knew how to give oral sex very well. The people that were average have always done it the best. The people who were above average were good at times, because sometimes, and I know it's a thing where women are, and every woman to each his own is something different, because you can get somebody that's above average that knows what they're doing and it feels amazing, or you can get somebody above average that doesn't know what they're doing, and yeah, I don't want that. I've also seen and I've only seen this one time, somebody that was above average, and I turned them down, because in my mind I'm thinking, it's a no for me. You're not doing that to my pussy. I'm sorry. And so this dude was he was either African or Jamaican, and he lived up to the African or Jamaican standard, but either way I had to turn that brother down because it was a no for me. So when you learn a person's body, or when you're trying to learn what that person likes, it's more intimate, and it's I would say probably a better experience, because that person is now trying to connect with you and not just in it trying to get in and get out. So I've had a person that was average size, but each time they could make me orgasm because of the fact that they knew what they were doing. They learned my body. And I don't know if that's the thing right now. Like, how many men is out here trying to learn a woman's body?
That's what I always just say, you know, when I was out there, like I say, when I was younger, I always tell whatever lady I'm with, I want you to tell me what you like, and I can learn you so that I know what I can do to please you. Now, we wasting time, but we're sitting here saying, well, let me see what he know. Fine, I'm going to show you what I know, but I might be touching your nose and you want me to touch your ear. I mean, I'm not the type of person who can read a mind, but if you tell me what you like and put me in a position where I can show you, you show me what you like, and you move me in the way that you want me to go, you just show me, and I can go from there. I mean, you don't have to, you know, every single time, because I'm gonna get it figured out.
Right. So do you watch porn?
I used to. I haven't watched it it's been a while, but I used to like to watch.
I like porn only because porn is like it's a tool, and as with any tool, sometimes you learn what to do and sometimes you learn what not to do. And I started watching porn early, so to me it was like sex education. And although some porn seems a little fake and some porn seems a little low budget, sometimes you can actually learn from watching porn.
Right.
So sometimes, depending upon the rating, because you know, if you watch porn, then you know some of that porn be looking a little low budget. If you watch porn before, then you know which ones you can kind of learn something from and what you should just turn off and throw in the trash. So I'm not opposed to watching porn. What about masturbation?
Well, really, I mean, I guess, you know, as I got older now, when I was younger, like I say, I used to be around a lot, so I didn't really have to do it. But after I got older, I guess maybe in my 40s, late 30s, early 40s, I really learned how to masturbate, touch myself in ways to try to make it, see how to make it feel better and stuff.
Right.
Right.
Well, even with that, it's like, to me, and I did that early on. And depending upon the type, because I like adult stores, toys and those types of things. I like those types of things, but the type of masturbation that you do, like say if you're just using your fingers or whatever, to me, when I started masturbating, I learned how to give myself an orgasm first. That's how I knew what it felt like. Like, there's a lot of women who actually can't orgasm. Like, I never knew that women that were probably in their 30s, we were having a conversation one day, and then that's when, we were talking about orgasm and this, that, and the third, and then we had people sitting around there saying they never orgasmed before. Like, how are you having sex and how are you having kids and you've never had an orgasm before? I used to watch a lot of like sexual education type stuff because I'd like to know how things work, and one of the ways that they actually talked about like trying to discover yourself was you have to actually do it for yourself in order for you to know how it feels.
Right.
Some people find it like, taboo. They don't want to talk about that. Like, that's embarrassing. It's this, that, and the third. But if you don't know how to do it for yourself, how do you expect anybody else to know how to do it?
Right.
That's what I always thought. And sometimes like toys and everything, those are great, but if you do, use them too much, they desensitize like the area. So you might not want to get too crazy with it, but I think I'm very experimental when I have I have a person. So it's not like I wouldn't try something that they wanted to do. Like, have you ever did role play?
No, but I brought it up to her, but she never would do it. Yeah.
So why do you think she's opposed to a lot of the things that you want to do?
I mean, I asked the question. She just said, I don't do that. And I ask a lot of questions because I do like to try different things. I mean, just like, I take her hand and put it on it, and, where she can kind of jerk it. She'll do about 2 or 3 times. That's it.
I'm sorry, but it just sounds real boring. Because, I'm trying to figure out...
Yeah.
If you're in love with a person, and it could just be me, I'm sorry, but I've actually spoken to women, like, I can get my friend on the line right now. And, like, the things that we talk about when it comes to sex, it's not that. It's almost like when you're in love with a person, that's almost like the most amazing part, giving your body to them.
Right.
It's like a bond. So...
Yeah.
And like I said, when it's done the right way, it glorifies God. So why would you not want to experiment with your person? And also, that to me almost seems like it's opening the door to cheat. Because if your man comes in and he says, I want to play dress up with you, or I want to role play, and tonight I want you to get dressed and I'm going to meet you here, and why would you not want to do that? It almost seems like it would be fun. It's very spicy. Like, why would you not want to do that?
Yeah, because I know when I was young, there was a girl I used to mess with, and she used to let her, like she liked for somebody, I guess she was liking, like pretend like somebody breaking in and gonna rape her, and she might be in the shower. I come like I climb through the window, and we just had fun. I mean, she might want me to spank her or whatever, and I would love it.
So how did you end up with
stuff like that? But at home, no.
Okay, so yeah, she's very conservative as far as like not wanting to experiment with sex. So how did you end up with a person like that if you're open to sex?
I mean, sometimes I question myself, even with that, because that's just like the girl I told you I cheated with when I was married. Now, she started it, giving head and stuff, and it was so good. I mean, and back then I didn't really know how to do her. So she didn't really want me to do it, but she was doing me so good, I had to do something to try to make sure she was good too. And so that's how I learned how to do it.
So, what was different about her sex?
She's more open, like we could be riding down the road. She'll pull it out and just start sucking it, or playing with it. Or say, just pull over and then jump across the steering wheel and get up on it. I used to love stuff like that. Get on the hood. I remember one time we was at a service station and getting some gas. And she say, I want to suck you right here. I said, well, all these people here. No, she said, I don't care. So she got out there and started, and another girl come around in the car, looked. I said, hold up, this girl watching. She said, F her. And kept doing what she was doing.
It sounds like a woman that liked what she was doing. That sounds like a woman that liked what she was doing.
Oh, yeah. She loved it. I mean, anytime, anywhere. And I liked it that. But she did ask me one time, and, we wasn't messing around then. She had got married. And, she said her husband wanted to do, anal sex. And she asked me, well, is he gay? Wanting to do that, would that make him gay? I said, I don't think so. If he want to do it and you willing to do it, go for it.
Right.
And that's what she did.
So you said you would like to try anal.
I ain't never did that.
So what's making you want to try that?
I just, cause you see it, when I used to see it in the porn, and I hear friends, a lot of my guy friends, be telling me about different ways they be doing, and I said, well, Don, I would love to try that.
Right.
And I did ask her. I asked my wife to. She said, no, she ain't doing that.
Okay, so I got a question, and this might be a little bit weird, but we just gonna switch it because I'm trying to figure out like what is her angle, only because like I just don't understand. So if the roles were reversed and she was free and open and willing, and you were more reserved, conservative as far as sex was concerned, would you understand if she went out and cheated on you?
I mean, if I won't do it, if I wouldn't do what it takes to please her, if I wasn't doing what it takes to please her, I feel she probably would.
I mean, I know that's a weird question, and probably the way I worded it might not have been correct, but because I'm just saying, it makes me feel like she's opening the door. She's opening the door because this world right now is open, like, and of course, nobody would owe her anything but you. So you have to realize that that's your wife, and you shouldn't, be out doing God knows what with Lord knows who. But to me, any man that's not getting satisfied the way they want, it's almost like, to me, she's opening the door for you to do that.
Right, that's just like, when we used to, I tell her we need to spend time together, but she'll say, well, I'm going to church, I'm going with my mother now, but I'm telling you, I need the time. And a coincidence, one time it did happen, she didn't spend the time, and I used to live in this small town, and the girl walking through town, and she stopped me and asked me, what you doing? I say, nothing. And said, well, come on, let's ride. And that opened up the door, but if she would have been there, doing, and it's my fault because I could have said no.
Right, because it doesn't give you no reason.
There doing what she's supposed to been doing, that would have never happened.
Well, yeah, yes and no. So I'm gonna say, like,
but I mean, we didn't have sex, but we did ride around and stuff, you know.
I mean, I wouldn't believe that part either, though. But okay.
But I mean, that's for real. Now, there ain't one thing I don't have to do. I don't have to lie to you. If I'd have had sex, I'd have had sex. It ain't nothing nobody can do about it.
So you just picked up a woman and rode around?
We just rode around and talked.
Okay.
We rode up to the airport. We just rode around and just talk.
Okay, well, that sounds good. And like I said, I'm not condoning because, of course, you're married, so that would mean that you're not allowed to just go out and do, you know, XYZ with Lord knows who and how. But to me, it's like when you know that a person that they're asking and you're saying no, because to me, it's like when you're married, you're not supposed to refuse certain things, and at least try them once before you refuse certain things. If there was a, you know, way to refuse, you would have to try first.
Yeah.
And
I try whatever.
Yeah, and it's almost like the connection with your person would be to explore and experience whatever it is their heart's desire, because of the fact that you only get to live here once, you know. And so why would you want your person feeling like you didn't give them your all, or why would your person want you feeling like, you know, vice versa is the thing. So if my person came to me and said, okay, they want to experience whatever, okay, it could be something weird and strange, and I probably would be like, okay, so how are we going to get that done? Like, what do we need to do? Even if I thought it was weird, only because, like, what if it's not weird? What if it turns out to be the best experience ever? So why would you not want to at least try and at least have that experience with them for the first time?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't understand, and that could just be me because, like I said, I'm not judging. She has her right to do or not do whatever it is she wants to do, but I'm just confused a little bit as to your relationship, because I keep hearing a lot of things that sound like, and I kind of said this to you before, it sounds like she really don't like you. You're just beneficial.
And I don't feel that way.
Yeah, and I'm saying I don't mean to say it like that because it seems very rude and harsh, but just when I'm listening, it's like I wouldn't do that to my person. Like, if I chose to be with you, I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure that you get what you want.
Right. And that's how I feel the same way. I mean, whatever it takes, that's what I would do. But it's not the same.
Yeah, so that's what makes me wonder. And again, she could have her own reasons, and, you know, we might need some extra opinions in on this. But as far as I'm concerned, yeah, I don't understand. So even as far as, like, men are concerned, what do you think a man's favorite sexual desire, sexual position, sexual thought is for a woman or for their wife?
I mean, to please her in any kind of way necessary, and for her to do the same for him. I mean, whatever, like with me, whatever she would ask me to do, and she want to try that, we can try.
So do you have any fantasies that you wanted to try that you haven't told her about?
I done told her everything. I mean, I tell it, and I even told her the time, you know, like what that girl would do, go down, how she would do it. She said, well, I told her, but I can live without it, but I would love to do it. She said, well, I know you're going to cheat and go back to her, because I know I'm not going to do it.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Another I don't like you thing. Yo, she kind of cold with it. Okay. So, maybe to TMI again. You can share if you or not. Can you give us one of your fantasies?
I do like to do that. I do like to do the role play. I mean, even think about sometimes, tying you to the bed and put a mask on you. Like I'd be watching some of them movies back then. Feed you like fruit and stuff, and kind of give you some little love taps, while you tied up, and then just go from there. I like to do stuff like that.
You never done that with your wife?
No.
That seems very easy.
Yeah.
They have you ever been to a sex store?
Yes.
Have you ever just tried to bring something home and then, do it with her?
Yeah, I bought one of them, what they call that, I guess a little vibrator thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you can try, we can try, little stuff like that. Let's try to experiment. I mean, I went and got it and brought it home. But it was used maybe one time with me, but it was never used again. Matter of fact, it stayed in the drawer for so long, I just told her I was going to throw it away. Then she told me, no, don't throw it away, but I threw it away anyway.
You didn't think she was using it while you weren't there?
And she did. I mean, it was always in the same, way I left it.
You don't think she was using it while you wasn't there? Why would she say not to throw it away?
Yeah, well, like I'm telling her, let's try. Whatever it takes. Let's experiment. I mean, I'm your husband.
Right. They have
I don't want to go out there and do nothing wrong. But once it's just like the forbidden fruit. Once you taste a little bit, you want some more.
Right. And it don't sound like you asking for much, because that seems to be a simple task. I was getting ready to tell you that I don't know if the sex store that you go to would have it, and I haven't been to a sex store in a long time. But they have these, it's a restraint that actually hooks to your bed. And it's like a permanent fixture. It's really nothing, extravagant. It's just like, ropes, or it's like handcuffs, but the whole thing is like an X, and you actually hook it underneath the bottom of your bed, and it stays there permanently. So then that way, whenever you want to just try, or if you wanted to just all of a sudden one night just decide that, then everything's already in position. So you might want to, try that. And then, they have like the little fuzzy mask. I think it might come in a whole kit, and bring it home and see what happens.
That sounds good.
Yeah, it's a nice little set.
I did like one time I told her, I said, well, let's buy, back then when the poles, I said, well, let's get one put up in the room. At first she was saying, yeah, we can do that, but then she said, no, we don't need nothing like that in there.
Why?
I mean, but I think that what causes a lot of guys to go out here and do a lot of stuff, because I'm telling you, if women out here in the street will do whatever they won't do.
Oh, I know, we know now.
Yeah. So why not go ahead and do all out for your man? Then he trying to get home. Because I'm telling you, I used to be on the road. They say truck drivers be out here doing this and doing that.
Yeah, they be cheating.
I used to be trying to get out here and get back to the house and get to her.
Which is a great quality. And that's why I don't understand why it would be that she wouldn't try to do the things that you're asking her to do.
I don't know. I really don't. I've been asking the same question myself for a lot of years.
Well, you have me still a little bit of a loss for words, I must tell you, because I thought this was going to go a little differently.
Yeah.
Only because, again, married for 35 years. I would think it would be some kinky shit happening.
Me too.
Some
And
real
we
super
love for
duper
it to
freaky shit.
happen.
Because I would think if you keep a nigga married for 35 years, you must have been putting it down.
It don't be. A lot of times it can be because of my job too, because I'm not there every day. I mean, it's giving the sex part was never a problem. It's just doing all the rest. I mean, I'll come home, I'm going to get some sex. I know I'm going to get some sex.
I got a question.
But like you say, this amazing sex, that's what I'm coming to look for.
I got a question.
Go ahead.
Because, so the way you say it, is this, because I'm sorry, but it sounds very dry. Like, it's boring. Do you feel bored?
Yeah, sometimes. I mean, like I used to tell you, sometimes you have to put your mind somewhere else to go ahead and, go through with it.
Uh-oh. Okay. Now that was good right there. So, what does that mean for you?
I mean, think about, like, with that other girl, sometimes, what would she be doing about now?
So you think about other women when you're having sex with your wife?
Yes.
Do you think she thinks about other men?
Yes.
Do you think that's cheating?
Yes.
So y'all are giving me, I don't even know, like, I think...
Because, like I told her, if you ever been with someone and you know what that other person will be doing to try to please you, and the one that's there with you is just being there, and they not doing no, cartwheels. They ain't throwing no cartwheels at you, making stuff explode. That's what I feel you should be trying to make it explode. I'm the type of person, I want you to be whatever it takes to when I get up. Like I remember one time I met with this girl, and it was earlier, and she stayed 3 or 4 days. She still was thinking about what I done.
Okay.
And I'm thinking, wow, out of them years, why don't you get that same experience at home?
Do you think it's because of the time? Because I'm just, okay, so in life, if you're with somebody for a long time, of course it's not going to be like explosive all the time. Sometimes it's going to be, but see, this is the thing. I've had an experience when it was like, and it could have just been the way the person was, like I was so in love with that person. And so everything about it was different. The energy was different. But also, even with that same person, when the energy shifted, I just wasn't there. So sometimes I think like the connection, the mental connection, or the spiritual connection is really what makes sex amazing. So like if your mind is elsewhere or it's just not into it, then it's just not going to be into it. Because, okay, I had an experience one time with a person and everything clicked. Everything was cool with this person right until the time we had sex. And then once we had like got in the mix, my mind did something different. And I was like, you got to get off me, because I wasn't feeling that. And my body is like, I'm really weird when it comes to that, because I'm like kind of shy when it's like, if that's not a person that I'm supposed to be with, I'm not going to be comfortable. So once my body's comfortable with a person, then it's whatever. Okay, we could do whatever. But if my body's not comfortable with you, I just can't. So me, I'm more like mentally involved in the sex. Some people can just, go out and do whatever they doing, and it's awesome, however, but I'm not that way. So, and it's weird because if I put my mind to just that, like one time I thought I was broken, right? I'm gonna just say this, because I just wasn't into the person that I was with at the time, and I had to do an experiment, and the experiment was that I needed to see if it would work the same with me and that person as it did, if it worked with me and somebody else as it did with that person. And it was so fucked up because it was so much different. Like, because I was so attracted to the person, and because the way that it happened, and because like everything just clicked, everything fired all at once. And in my mind, I was like, damn, that's so crazy that this person, like, I'm over here with this person, and this is a person that I'm with, but this person is not doing. And this was a while ago, and it just made me feel like, damn, I can't be with this person. Because after a while, it just started to be like basic, just like you saying. It started to be basic. And sex is not everything, but to a man, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, it's a very big part.
Yeah.
So to me, but I wasn't connecting, like, and so once I click out or once I check out, we just need to break up, because, excuse me, I'm not going to be nowhere good to you. I'm very cold when it comes to that, because it's like, I need that connection. And if I don't have that, then I don't want you. And that's the thing. But if I have that connection with you, I don't give a fuck what you want to do. I'm here for it. That's almost like part of the passion and the energy, that connection that you have with a person. So it's more than just physical.
That's it. Because, I mean, I feel the same way. Because I remember times when I used to say, I sit down and watch, like, porn, trying to figure out, ways to try to make it even spice it on up to where she can have at least 3 or 4 orgasms every single time.
Did it work?
And I could do it. I know at least 3 or 4 times.
Well, we can't really speak for her, because sometimes, and that's another thing, we lie. We lie. They get it done. Are you done? Are you done? Okay. Yes, I came. Goodbye. So we honestly can't speak for her, but you may have.
But I know what you can speak for. All you gotta do, get up there and lay on that chest. If she had one, that heart gonna be racing.
Well, sometimes your heart races anyway during sex, because it's like, it speeds up everything. It's like all your chemicals are firing all at once. So just the motion of sex is going to make your heart race.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not even really a good gauge, because it's work. It's exercise. You burn calories having sex.
Oh, yeah. And I do like the good workout anyway.
Well, I mean, I think women normally like the good workout too. That's what I'm trying to figure out, like, what's happening. Because honestly, it don't sound like to me, and I'm not nobody's therapist. I'm just saying what I kind of feel. Somebody can say, challenge it and say something different. But it feels like to me, there's no connection.
Mm-hmm.
It seems very much, and I don't mean to keep using this word, but that's what it's giving me. It's giving me boring.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even for her, she might be bored. So
try something different.
Well, trying something different might be a whole nother person. You know what I'm saying? So
I'm like this. If that's what it takes, no matter how long, and it took me a long time, because I always thought about, because I raised up single parents. Did my grandparents raise me where they was married, and they was for me to see what's happening. And I always said, you know, if I'm in it, and my grandparents told me, well, that's the thing you're supposed to do, and I stayed in it so that I could be there for my kids. But I just wanted to let people know you don't have to do that. You can still raise your kids together, but you don't have to. It's like you waste your whole life. For what? If you ain't doing everything, enjoyment together, to do it together, what's the use of being in it?
Right. So do you
And
regret
I'm
that?
learning that now. It took a lot of years for me to really get this. But I do have it now.
But you don't regret doing it, though.
Because I was there with my family.
Right. That's what I was going to say.
Made sure they was taken care of.
Yeah, that was the thing I was about to say. You shouldn't regret trying to be a responsible person.
Right.
And everything's a lesson. So you live and you learn. Que sera, sera. What will be, shall be. But the thing that I keep saying to people and to everyone is, do you want to die and have the feeling that you didn't do the things that you wanted to do because you did everything for everybody else and put yourself last?
Right. And I hear that now. You know, I used to didn't hear that. But now, you know, it opened up something on the inside of me. I want to live for me.
Right.
Because I have lived for everybody else.
Right.
To make sure everybody was okay. And I wondered, you know, now, what about me? Who's trying to make sure I'm okay?
Right. Because if you're not okay, then nobody else actually can be okay either. You have to be okay in order to make sure that you can give to other people.
Correct.
If your cup ain't full, how you going to give to other people? You over here filling up everybody else's cup and your cup empty.
You're always on film.
Right. And that's what I keep saying. Like, you know, you and I had a conversation earlier about me, you know, single, celibate, and sober based off of what I want to do. And now, like, the new me, when I meet my husband finally, and the type of person that I wish to have. And I don't know what God has in store. All I know is, like I said, I'm in a selfish mode. And so, you know, we talked about what that meant for me. What that meant for me is like, and I know people have children and all this other stuff, but the connection that I want to have with a person initially don't have room for nobody else. It has room for me and that person. Because sexually, that's a big thing. You want to be connected to that person. And for me, I already know I'm probably not going to have sex with that person right away. Why? Because, again, my body has to do this thing where it feels comfortable with a person. I have to know that you and I are even, you know, connected in that way. So that's going to take time. Talking to a person and just, you know, feeling the energy around that person. And, you know, you and I talk a little bit about the person that I am and the energy that I pick up from people. So it's almost like I just want to make sure that I know that person and that person knows me before I get the impression of other people around them. You know what I mean? So it's like I want to do a spiritual bonding with that person first. I don't know if that makes any sense to anybody, but it makes sense to me.
That's all what matters right there.
And I know what I need.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, when people are talking about healing and, you know, all this other super good shit, to me, you and that person, when y'all get together, y'all heal each other. So even if it's not y'all, you are already healed and that person's already healed, y'all are going to find some other shit that you didn't even realize that needed to be dealt with. Just because that person's going to bring out the super best in you and you're going to bring out the super best in that person. And so that's going to make it on a different level. That's going to make it healing on steroids. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that's part of it, because sexual energy with a person is very healing. Giving that to a person and that person, y'all exchanging that, it should be amazing.
Right.
Not basic, not regular. It should be something that you should be able to feel from the soles of your feet to the top of your head. It should make your body light up.
It should make you feel something every time you say it.
I mean, and the thing is, I can even say it because it happened to me, so I know. Like, people can say, oh, that don't exist. Well, sorry that you've never felt it. That might mean that you need to tap into something different, but I felt it before. I've had that energy with somebody before. So I know it exists. So it's almost like when people are saying stuff and then they're chasing something that they think. I'm not chasing something that I think. I know. And when you are like open to receive that type of energy, I mean, yeah, everything else feels like it's otherworldly. Like, that's the only way I can explain it.
Mm-hmm.
Because there was stuff that happened during that period of time, like during sex, that I'm like, what the fuck was that? Like, how did that happen? So if you've never experienced it, then that's one thing. That's something that people are saying, you know, oh, I want to meet my soulmate or my twin because I want to feel this or I want to feel that, or, you know, whatever. I don't know what they're looking for or what they think their idea of something is. But from the thing that I experienced and the thing that happened to me, if the person that I'm supposed to meet or the person that I'm supposed to be with in life is going to give me that times 10, that person is well worth the wait, because I know what it feels like. So sometimes we and people get tired and you know, they want to just be in a relationship, or they just want to be in love, or, you know, because for some reason I keep getting everybody want to talk to me. Like, even today it was a thing that happened and I'm over here like, and then even the way the person was talking to me, they're like something about the connection and something else, and I'm like, damn, why does this keep happening to me? It's almost like, I don't know if it's the universe or if it's me doing it, but the amount of people that I'm pulling in is weird to me, because it's almost like this dude did this thing to me today. I was outside, I was just standing there, and he walks around there to me and he's like, you are so beautiful. But he's like looking me dead in my eyes, and I'm looking at him like, it almost kind of made me like, because he stepped to me, like closed the gap on me, which is something that I do to people when, you know, but he closed the gap on me. And then just his demeanor was a little bit aggressive, but not to the point that I'm like, I don't even know if I don't know if I like this, or if I you know, it kind of threw me off a little bit. Because I ended up telling my friend, I said, listen, this dude was just so aggressive with me to the tune of, I had to think about whether or not I liked it or not, because he was kind of forward. And I like when somebody's like, you know, they go get what they want. I like that. But just the way it was almost kind of threw me off a little bit, because it was like, he just caught me off guard. This man literally hopped out of his car, And then he threw me this smell that was like, and it was weird because, again, it's this thing that keeps coming with these certain people. But he literally hopped out of his car. He parked his car in the street and hopped out of his car and walked right up to me. You are fucking beautiful. And he just kept looking at me like, and in my mind, I don't know if you know what I mean, but I just couldn't figure out if I liked it or if I didn't like it. I don't know if that sounds weird or not, but that's the way it was. I mean, he was nice. He wasn't trying to threaten me in any demeanor or any form or fashion. But the fact that he just was like, I saw that, I like that, I'm going to go get it. But then he asked me a question. I don't know how we started talking. Something about his name meant something in Hebrew or something. So then he asked me about religion or something because I have my hair tied up today. And then he was saying, I said, I was telling him that I had just reverted to Islam, so I was Muslim. And he says, I never been with a Muslim before. And I was like, the way I looked at him, I said, and you still haven't. And so he started laughing because he probably like, this bitch got a smart ass mouth. But I mean, like, dog, you was a little like, but again, it kind of threw me because I didn't know. But then after that, he started saying something about energy and a connection. And you just know that you have a connection with a person. You just roll by. I literally was just standing outside. And that's how I got approached today. So it's always something. And then so I'm just wondering, like, those connections that you have, or those connections that you, like, when you meet people like that, like, I said it before, and even if there is a connection, or even if there was, it's not meant for your sexual energy. Like, people do that a lot. They mistake the fact that you have some type of chemistry or some type of something with a person to, oh, we should have sex. I don't think that. I think it's reserved for, you'll know. I mean, you know what I mean? It's reserved for you'll know. Only you will know.
I think these days and time, people think that's the whole key is just sex.
It's not, though.
Yeah, that's what they think. And you don't have to lay down with every person.
I'm not going to lay down with every person. I'm not going to lay with none. That's the thing. To me right now, I'm on a different type of, I'm on a different thing. Because, I mean, and I don't really want to explain it to, people. I just don't. Because to me, it's like, you get it or you don't. And when you bond and you connect with a person, then you just get it. Not just, okay, you look like somebody that I should be sleeping with, or we have chemistry, so we should do this. Like, no, that's not what I want. That's not what I'm doing. I have other things to do with myself, like, rather than doing that. But it's okay that other people want to do that. It's just not what I want to do.
Right.
I have something different in mind.
Yeah.
And until I get it, then that's just what it is. So I don't know about I mean, I guess as far as the sex conversation, do you think that initially when y'all first meet, right, like when you and a person first meet, do you think that y'all should talk about the do's and don'ts of sex?
I think if you open and you communicating, you both be on the same page. Because it might be a person that don't want to do what you really like. So why waste your time with it?
Right. So, okay, I got another question, because sometimes this is even not even talked about. Like, initially when you meet a person and y'all say, okay, we like each other, our energy matches and all this other stuff, do you think that you and that person should, before you have sex, go to the doctor together and talk about like STDs and,
I don't see anything wrong with it. If you straight, it shouldn't be a problem.
But how many people actually do that?
They don't.
They normally just go right in for the
They
kill.
don't do it. They'll say, I don't know, you might have something. But then in the next few minutes, everything is off.
You mean all your clothes is on the floor?
All your clothes, everything is over. Like, I have a friend, I know you probably have to go, but he supposed to be one of these Casanova. Women just flock to him. And I might not should be saying this, but anyway, he supposed to have AIDS.
Oh.
And he still mess with different women. And one of them he was messing with, and her ex-boyfriend came up and told her, said, you know that boy's supposed to have AIDS. And the girl said, well, it don't matter now because it's too late. We done had sex.
Well, I think that's on a lot of people's mind these days, because once they said they have a cure for HIV and AIDS and all this other stuff, I think people just decided not to care.
But I still care.
I care too, because I don't want that in my system.
Right.
I mean, but
why would you want to do that to someone? Give someone something that they didn't even ask for.
Well, that's a fact.
So why not go to the doctor, everyone get checked out, and then be safe? I mean, I'm a guy, and I used to say all the time too, it feels good without it on.
Right,
but
that actually opens it up.
It don't matter what it would feel like, I still want to be safe.
Well, even after that, you're still not all that safe, because HIV still has an incubation period. So you can not have it today, and then next week you can have it. So that's one thing. But to me, it's just like, if you're gonna be intimate, these are things like it shouldn't be taboo to talk about, because it's almost like people are more afraid to do that than they are afraid to have sex.
Right.
And even if y'all don't do it together or whatever, but some form or fashion, because like you said, not to say that anybody that has HIV or AIDS, I'm not judging again, because they still are allowed to have a life. But you should tell somebody that. You should just not be having sex with people knowing that you have that and not letting them know.
It's their choice. I mean, it's still a choice that you taking from them when you don't tell it. You say something, say, yeah, I like you, but look, I have this condition. Let me make that decision if I want to go forward. Don't make it for me.
Facts.
A lot of people do. They make the decision for you.
That's me. Well, I also know for a fact that there's a person that had HIV that used to tell people that they had HIV, and it never stopped anybody. Like, this person was still, like, dudes were still trying to get with this person.
Mm-hmm.
And so, again, this day and time, it's almost like really nothing is off limits. Like, people are just open to whatever. And see, that's the other thing that I was getting ready to say. Like, when it comes to even being married for that long period of time, and you could contract HIV from your partner. There was a big thing a while back where it was saying, like, married couples were catching HIV at record rates because of the fact that of cheating. And so you're not even safe really in a marriage from that, from STDs or anything, because you could be faithful and your partner could not be.
And that's the problem right there. But if everybody would be open and honest, you could know. People are making decisions for people that they shouldn't. Let the person make their own decision if they want to be a part of it. That's being selfish to know you're going to be cheating and then you're going to bring it home.
Right. But that's also one of the things that I'm talking about right now, even in making the decision for yourself. Because since you already know that, then you could just have the option to say, I'm going to make you use a condom. I was with somebody for a long time and I wouldn't let them have sex with me without a condom. I just didn't trust them. And so, and stuff still could have happened. Because, that's just the way of the world. But at the end of the day, you have to be a conscious person for yourself, because you never know what somebody else is doing.
Right.
It's like, I have this thing about riding on motorcycles with men or with anybody. I'm not going to give you that much power. So I'm not going to do it. So if I don't trust you, one, I shouldn't be with you. But for two, if I don't trust you, then why am I going to let you have that much power over my life? Have you ever had a threesome before?
One time I did.
What type?
It was me and another guy and a girl.
How was it?
Yeah, pretty good.
I've actually never had a threesome before in my life.
Uh-huh.
I've never had a threesome before in my life.
Yeah.
Not for lack of trying, but...
I like for it to be me and two girls, or two women.
So how did it end up being you and another dude and a female? How did that situation end up being that way?
I knew the girl, and a friend of mine, he never had a threesome. I never had a threesome. I just asked the girl, did she want to do it? First, she acted like she was against it, but eventually she said, "Come on, let's do it."
So did she seem like she was into it? Like, how was that? How did that take place? What was happening?
Sir. She liked it. Cause she asked after that, she wanted to do it again, but the timing just never was right after that to do it again. All three of us.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So how did that work out? Like, what was happening?
I was screwing her nut and she was sucking, and it was like that.
Okay. I want to ask more questions, but I think this is about to go on YouTube, so I don't want to be... Because I have more questions. But I'm going to be...
I mean, it was an experience. I mean, I would love to do it again. But like I said, I would love to be with two women. And I love to just sit there and watch two women. I would like to see some, be there, and face to face.
So that's another
not
fantasy
on TV,
you have.
Not a movie. I want to just be there to see it.
So that's another fantasy you have.
Yeah.
So do you think your wife would fulfill any of these fantasies, or are you just going to die without having it?
Probably die without having it. That's my chances.
I'm cracking up. So, is there anything else that you have in your mind that you think that would be like on your list of things that you should do before you die?
I mean, I guess on my list, just to try anything that your heart desires. As long as it's not going to hurt a person, to try, communicate. That's what the problem with mostly everybody is, the lack of communication.
Right. Have you ever been to an adult club?
No. I like to do that because I know a guy, he's in the service where he was. He retired now. And he tell me about how they go in there and be doing all kind of stuff. And so, in my mind, I can picture it, but I would love to just go and see for myself.
Right. I've been to several.
Yeah.
And it's a lot happening. A lot of things going on. One thing I thought while I was there, like my very first visit, was this is a disease waiting to happen. This is a ball of disease waiting to happen. But the energy, the sexual energy that is around is what I like. I've also been to an adult resort before. And so that was pretty amazing. I went there a couple of times because, I don't know, I'm into voyeurism and freedom. So to me, it's like the scene, the settings, the energy that surrounds the place. I'm attracted to all that type of stuff. The vibe.
I would love to see it though. I'm serious. I would love that. That is a fantasy there to go and do something like that.
The sex club or the resort?
All of it.
Okay.
I would love to see all of it.
Well, there are several around. I know for a fact that Atlanta has it, Dallas has it, Florida has it. So I do know that they are around. And Atlanta has several actually. So, and it's one thing that I love even about that setting and that scenery is that people are very respectful when it comes to that. Because there's a lot of couples that go, like husband and wife couples. And I talked about this before about how, because I like to know stuff. I like to know how stuff works. So I actually spoke to a few of these couples, and you could tell how they love each other. So you would think, a person would think that, okay, they're there and they're just doing this, and you know, maybe they don't like each other and they're just trying to, like, it was amazing to me how one of these guys spoke about his wife. Like, you could tell he was in love with this woman. But while they were there, it's like they met other people there, and I was kind of watching him while he was watching her. And it was like almost like he was turned on, like he loved her even more in that setting and in that scenery. And it just blew me away because I'm like, wow. Most of the time you have like, that's when it's like love. And I get the connection between like the husband and wife, and you know, that's supposed to be like the sacred thing. But something about that environment is also like magic as well. It's like you got these people all here. The energy surrounding it is next level, is the only way I can explain it. And the way he was looking at her was like, you could tell from him talking about her that he loved her, but the way he was watching her was like, you could feel it. And you wouldn't think that, okay, you watching your wife with either another woman or another man, or, you know, just in that environment, you would think that, you know, it might be some jealousy or something going on. But this man, the way he just sat back, and then they had sex after that. And like, it was like, I don't know, I don't really know how to explain it, but I like the people watch. I told you I'm very much like a voyeur. So I like to see, even like if I'm outside in the parking lot or something, I just like watching how people are when they think nobody's watching.
Right.
But he changed my mind about sex that night. And it wasn't like, okay, you should still just be out here, you know, giving your body to anybody. It wasn't that type of change my mind. He changed my mind as to jealousy and sex should just not exist. Because there's nothing in my mind that could tell that man, or nothing in my mind that would even make me think that that man didn't know that that was his.
Right.
Like, no matter what she was doing, no matter what was happening, that energy belonged to him and him only. And that was fucking amazing to me, because how the hell did you do that?
It's the communication. That's the key. That they can be honest with each other. There's nothing to hide. You can't do nothing but love.
Right. And that's where people annoy me at, because it's like people will always try to hide, like, okay, I had sex with this person, this, that, and the third, but they don't even really matter. That wasn't what was important. And the important part was that when you did that, you didn't tell me the truth.
Right.
You hide in the fact that you got this bitch over here, but yet you not trying to tell me, even though I feel it and I know it. You hiding it for no reason. It's just make me not like you, because you're a liar.
Right.
Meanwhile, I watched this man, and that's what, like, to me, like, I could feel people's energy. So that's why I'm saying nothing couldn't tell me, like, that man didn't know that that energy was still his regardless. And even though she was interacting with somebody else, the energy she was putting out was for him.
Right, because she knew that what turns him on.
Yes, and that was like, I was like, oh shit.
That's it.
That's what I keep trying to say. Like, I experience stuff differently than other people. And that's why it's like, the things that most people think that should bother me, it really don't, because they don't understand that I'm not where you are. It's one of the things I say, like, I live in this world, I'm not of this world, because I see a higher thing past what everybody else is looking at.
That's the key right there. Because if you're being honest and everybody's being honest and, truthful, what is it to be jealous of?
Well, I don't know, but that man had it. That man had it down packed, because I'm telling you, like, I don't know. I've never experienced that from anybody. Like, I got that, like, I was just in the right place at the right time to be able to get that experience to make it change my mind. And so that was one of the things that now make me see sex even a little differently, even when it comes to certain things of that nature, because I've never done that and I'm not opposed to it. But I also understand how it's supposed to work. Because once you understand how it's supposed to work, so you having this, and I could, like, if it's you and this other person, then of course you wouldn't have that. But if it's you and your partner and someone, the energy that you're still supposed to be putting out is for your person.
Right.
So a lot of people do that, and then they don't realize that's not what they're doing, and then they wonder why their relationship ends up fucked up after they do it. Because you was giving energy to the other person. Your energy wasn't for your partner.
Should have been.
Yes. Like, of course, you're supposed to be present, and yes, still, because even the lady, she was present. She was enjoying what she was doing. But she knew that her husband was watching her, and that energy was all for him.
Yeah.
So it was amazing to see. And again, I don't know if anybody will get what I mean, because, it might be like some different shit, and people might, but either way, that was just how I experienced it. And it felt
all what matters, really. If you experience that way and they experience it, that's all what matters.
Right.
I think that's what a lot of people just don't get. The world tell you have to lie instead of telling you can tell the truth and still have what you want, but I think it'd be more happier by telling the truth.
That's a
and
fact.
just say, I like doing this. If I know you like doing that, why should I try to stop you from doing it?
And that's true. Unless if it's harming you, then maybe, I can understand that part. But if it's not going to harm nobody, then I don't get it either.
Right. It ain't hurt nobody. Everybody's being happy. Go for it. Let your hair down. That's why a lot of times people say, What goes on here stays here. Because everybody's not going to see it the same way you see it.
Right. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas unless it hits the internet.
That's the word. I know it was something like that.
No, you said it right. What happens here stays here. That's right.
That's it. You go to Vegas, go out there and have fun, and let it stay there. Because people going to try to judge it.
Well, people can only judge their own self.
To make it not look. Everything might not be that way.
Right. That's a fact.
Yeah. And then if you like it, I got to love it.
And on top of that, it's one of the things I said earlier. Me and you talked about this before. People need to learn to mind their own business, because at the end of the day, no matter what a person is doing, as long as it don't affect you, then it shouldn't even matter.
Yeah. But they mind everybody else's business, but they don't.
Because in my life, I swear, I feel like at this point, I know that God's watching me. So no matter what I do, that's the only thing that matters. If I'm comfortable and still doing it after I know God's watching, then guess what? It don't matter what you talking about.
Yeah. So that's why people like with a preacher, they go and hide. They drinking or something. They go hide it from the preacher, but the preacher ain't got no heaven or hell to put you in.
That's right.
Only person got a place to put you is God, and he see everything you're doing anyway, so why hide it?
That's right. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So as far as like sexual encounters and things of that nature, like, I think that you should always be open for whatever it is that your partner wants. And at least willing to try to satisfy them and make them happy. Now, if you try it and you don't like it, then you can say that. I didn't like that. So I don't really want to do that no more. What else can because what else can I give you to make, to make you okay?
Mm-hmm.
Because there might be something else they might want to try. Let's try that then.
Right.
But I don't think anybody should be denied something that they want to do because of the fact that, even now, I'll be big on saying, let them people do what they want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Let them do what they want to do. Because guess what? In the end, if it's something that I don't like, I don't got to deal with you.
Right.
So I think everybody should figure out what they like. And then let's come to the table on it. So I can perform these duties, but I ain't willing to perform that.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you say yes, then okay. If you say no, then we go our separate ways. You go with God and I go with God.
Right.
Or you go to hell and I go with God. Take it how it resonates for you. But either way, that's how it's going to go down. But I don't think a person should compromise their whole sexual feelings or emotions or no, I don't think you should have to do that for a person. Because I might want to try some real freaky ass shit that a nigga might be like, hold on, bitch. Like, you know. But I'm not going to not want to tell him.
Right. Yeah, at least tell it.
Yeah, because I told you when I went to one of those resorts, I watched, it's like how you tie people up and you do it in, different types of ways, and it's weird, but I don't know. I got a thing for that. Like, I don't know. I like watching that. Because to me, it's like the sex swing. You ever seen that?
I don't think so. I might have. I don't think so.
Okay, so it's like a sex swing. It's a swing. But it's designed for you to be able to, like, say if a female sits in it and you could kind of push it any type of way, different positions or whatever to have sex in. So the way they tie you, because I would like to experience certain sexual things with a person. Like if we go to different classes or whatever, and they teach you how to connect more with that person. Like, that's stuff that I like to do. I would definitely want to do that with my partner. Somebody might think that's weird.
I think it might be pretty good.
It may be or it may not be for a person. You know what I'm saying? Depending upon what type of person they are. But it's still, I'm going to tell you.
Mm.
And I would like for a person to at least try it once before they say, that's weird.
Mm-hmm. I be game to try it, as long as, you know, as a woman, I'm willing to try whatever.
Well, there's different groups, and that's funny because different sexual groups that go to these like resorts and all that other stuff, they actually have activities and stuff that you can get involved in with them. And it gets you knowing, like, you know, a couple of different people that are into the same shit that you're into and whatnot. So this is gonna be.
Put that on the list of trying to do.
What'd you say?
Yeah, I need to get that on the list to go to something like that.
The sex resort.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so much, like, people would not believe like what type of things goes on in the world, like, and it's not to hurt or harm anybody. It's just basically to get to know yourself, to get to explore different ways of living, because there's even like nudist resorts that like, and these are senior nudist resorts. These old people know how to live, like. I mean, come on now. So it's different things for you to do. It's just you got to know what it is that you like and how that you like it.
Mm-hmm.
So, and nobody should think anybody's weird. Nobody should judge. People should just be allowed to do what they want to do as long as they're not hurting nobody. And that's the end of that.
Right.
So, okay, everyone. Thank you, James, for tuning in and having a chat with me. I hope I didn't get too personal into your business.
You did, but it's okay.
Well, I'll see you again on the next Love, Life, and Relationships. Thank you for coming.
You're welcome.
Well, guys, thank you for coming to my channel. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Also, don't forget to hit the post notification bell so you can get alerts when my videos are posted. Go with God.